Hey, man.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Good, good.
So, man, tell us about this truck.
Okay, so this truck actually was built originally in McAlester. It's an Oklahoma truck. It got 31,000 miles on it, so it was built a long time ago. And we liked the truck along the way, and it finally came up for sale. So we bought it, and at that point, it needed some updating. So that's how I acquired it. So my business partner actually bought it first, and I knew of the, it's in our family at that point. And when he decided that he didn't want to keep it to have stored anymore, that's when I acquired it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So we're here at the Daryl Starbird car show. This is the 61st show, I believe.
I think it is.
You've been coming here a long time. Tell us about your involvement in the Tulsa car scene.
So my involvement in the Tulsa car scene kind of starts back when I was young. I graduated in 1988 in Claremore, and Claremore was the cruise scene for Oklahoma. They had the perfect road right down the middle of town, and so people from all over Tulsa, all the surrounding towns, Owasso, Chelsea, Inola, all the kids came to Claremore, and they cruised. So I actually met my wife on cruise night in Claremore, and so, as life goes, I went to college, I started a career, and I kind of got out of the car scene for a little while. And then when we kind of outdoor car stuff was closing,
right?
No outdoor car shows, no indoor car shows, no nothing. I was like, no. That's when I started the first round of Claremore Cruise Night, and that evolved into Friday Night Cruise, which evolved into Tuesday Night Cruise. And then as that happened, some of my friends started getting more and more involved, like Poppy's Patina, you guys. And so we just continued, and it just snowballed. And I don't even honestly know how it snowballed, but it snowballed, and now it's part of my life. It's every day I'm doing something car related.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, car people love to come together and socialize.
That's right. Yeah.
And
you meet the greatest people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I've been going to your cruise night ever since we moved here from Southern California.
Yep.
And it's a great way to plug into the car community and see cool stuff that people are working on.
Absolutely.
So we got involved with this project because we needed a Chevy truck to take to Dino's Get Down. And actually, that was a great story about the cruise night. And I didn't even realize about Claremore. Like, I'm kind of new to Tulsa.
Yeah, so that's a part of your life you didn't grow up with that I grew up with.
Right.
But when you reached out to me and said that you were building audio equipment for classic vehicles and you needed an Apache pickup, and I was like, well, I have an Apache pickup.
Yeah.
And that's how that started, know, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Because like, if you hadn't asked me, you wouldn't have known I owned this truck.
Right. Absolutely. It was like it was meant to be.
It was.
So tell me your history with car stereo. Were you a car stereo guy at one point?
So a little bit of history about me, and that starts in Claremore as well, is when I was, my dad's an electrical engineer. So I was never afraid of electrical when I was young. And when I graduated high school, my very first job was at Radio Shack in Claremore.
Oh, yeah.
And I installed car stereo systems.
For Radio Shack, huh?
For Radio Shack.
I didn't even know they did.
So there were different types of Radio Shacks. There was corporate-owned stores.
Okay.
And there were individual-owned stores. And the individual-owned stores sold the core products that Radio Shack sold.
Sure.
But then they could sell other things like Sony or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And so we had a little side business putting stereos. That was real basic stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy
That's
like
awesome.
what you guys do. But anyway, that's how I kind of got my feet wet with it. And, I was poor, so I couldn't afford real high-end equipment. But I learned a little bit. Then that's what led me into installing cell phones, drilling holes, mounting antennas, putting the handset, all that stuff.
That's funny. I worked in cell phone installation.
So that's what I did as well. Yeah. And so my first part, I worked 17 years at US Cellular. My first 5 years was in the install bay, running wiring under carpet and putting antennas on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah. Most kids nowadays don't even know they had installed cell phones.
No idea. No idea. And so lots of stories. But one time I was working on a Mercedes, and you know how we use those little push those little nylon blades to push the
microphone.
I was using my curved hook, and I slipped and ripped a whole section of leather into it.
Wow. But I've got some stories like that too.
Yeah, imagine. Or running a screw in and hitting the fuel tank.
Yeah. Mine was a heater core.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. No good. That's no good.
So tell us about the experience of, you've been driving this truck for a while and taking it to some events and cruising around town. How is putting a nice quality audio system in it change the experience?
So, and I have quite a few cars. And they're all, pretty basic cars. And for me, in the past, audio system has been low priority. Big priority. Let's get the brakes working. Let's get the
For
fuel
sure.
system working. Let's get the windshield wipers working. So, audio system has been low priority for a really long time.
Right.
And so I really didn't have any cars with quality audio in it. So, and I honestly had kind of forgotten how pleasant it makes the experience, how much more fun it makes it. So when you got as many cars as I do, and I've got somewhere like 14 cars, when I go out to the shop and decide what I'm driving to cruise night, it used to be about what I haven't driven in a while, and now
Yeah.
it's like I'm taking that one.
Right.
It's got a killer stereo in it. And I didn't realize that I was even missing out on that,
Yeah.
But to have a good quality stereo system that overcomes wind noise, because these old trucks have wind noise,
Sure.
but still sounds amazing, but is clean enough that you and I can still have a conversation.
Right. Yeah.
It's super cool.
That's key.
It's a
Having-
game changer.
Yeah, having quality sound and dynamics so that it's not just a noise level that's up here
Yeah.
and you can't talk over
Yeah,
it.
it's making
Absolutely.
it worse.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You need to get some of those other cars in the rotation so they don't get lonely.
That's right. We need to get them in the rotation. I can't
Yeah.
wait. And now that I know what's possible and I know the equipment and the quality of stuff that you guys do, I have plans for all kinds of stuff.
Right on.
It's gonna be
And
fun.
one of our goals is to come up with audio systems and packages for classic vehicles that don't take away the integrity and the classic feel of the vehicle. Avoid cutting. Try to use factory mounting points when we can. Things like that. So we were able to do that in this truck. We really didn't modify the truck.
Yeah.
So how's that working out?
Yeah, so because we're doing a video and I want to make sure that people know what he's talking about, is this vehicle, the kick panels that we put in, the speakers and the types of speakers that are available now through Morel, allow you to put this high-end audio system in without cutting the structure of the vehicle, and it just looks like it's part of the car. It doesn't take up any footwell space. It's just amazing what's available now. The technology that's available was not available when you and I were young.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's what's exciting for sure.
It is. It
Yeah,
really
yep.
is.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Well,
I love this thing. I
Yeah.
appreciate everything
Yeah.
you did.
Well, we appreciate you letting us take it to the events too.
I can't wait to take it some more
Definitely.
places.
A lot of people get to enjoy it here as well.
Absolutely.
So. Sounds awesome. That's good. Awesome. All right, Tim. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, appreciate it.
Awesome.